Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Towards the weekend, and for many of you, it's already here. Tip of the cap, raise of the drink, and how about a smoke of the cigar? Love to have a couple of those, but those worms crawling around in my stomach. The cigar is not the best way to go. Yeah, it's true. I'll have a full report Tuesday after the double dose of the colonoscopy and the, I think it's the endoscope, or whatever it may be, with the, I don't know what they call it, the camera that goes in and kind of looks at you both ways.
Upload it to our 1010XL's YouTube page after you get the footage. Yeah.
Worms, parasites. Puking behind dumpsters, sick all the time. I mean, it's people like Blue. Are you on that diet like Dempsey and Hacker and Matt Hayes? Or are you on the what's it called? The
Awaken 180.
Yeah. And what's the other deal?
Ozempic.
Right. I'm like, no, I just can't keep any food in my body. It's been that way for the last 6 weeks. You know, when I told you I was going to pull away from the table, and I was playing at like 220 a year ago, 222. I said, just get down. If you can get down to under 200, that would be incredible playing weight for you. And I've been able to do that now for quite some time. JJ, I'm heading towards 190 now. Okay. No, it's not good.
Oh, sorry.
I got worms in my stomach, bro.
Unhealthy one.
Okay.
Well, you look good on the outside.
Yeah, that's what Greg Huntington says to me. I'm like, bro, I've had these headaches for a year and a half. It's COVID. It's jab. And I go, now I got this stomach issue. I don't know what I got. Maybe I brought it back from Colorado or whatever. But, I got to find out what's going on. So hopefully that'll be on Tuesday. But anyway, the point, I didn't plan on mentioning it, but I said a smoke of the cigar. No, this is no way that I can do that. I will say that beers on a Sunday, despite everything, I'm still forcing them down because I figured that some Miller Lights would maybe at least get those worms to have a good time, right? Can you see the worms inside my belly going, tastes great, less filling, tastes great, going back and forth before they end up coming out of both ends. All right, full steam. It's a betting term. Steam, right? I got something betting-wise on the Jags coming up in a little bit. I don't think you're going to like it, but I'm going to share it with you anyway because I disagree. I disagree with the expert, but we're going to get to it anyway. Steam to me, though, is like an 18-wheeler. And what are we in America without the people who move product from city to city, from town to town, from coast to coast, just getting on that 18-wheeler, 8-track tapes, CBs. Now, don't tell me about lot lizards and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about great American people moving product. How about the steam wheeler? Keep on rolling, right? A little swamp rock, even though CCR is not from the swamps. They're actually from Northern California. That's the way I feel about this team. Today was a physical, intense practice, and it came with injuries. And I'll get there momentarily. But what I got out of today's practice, and I started to see it on Wednesday, okay, because they had an off day yesterday. I think the offensive line has woken. Okay, I think the offensive line is alert, and they should be because they sucked a year ago. Okay, they were soft. They were awful. And I think the message has gotten across to this group that if this football team is going to be able to do anything, they are going to have to man up. Physical play today, short yardage, Doug Peterson, if you go back and listen to his press conference today, he hammered short yardage. He hammered goal line drills. What's your lasting memory of the last two Jaguar seasons? For many of you, it may be Christian Kirk dropping the ball against Kansas City. It may be last year, Calvin Ridley not running the correct route or not being able to get to the ball. And that's part of it. And there's no doubt that's a huge part of it. But to me, it's 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. And lining up against Tennessee, man on man, Jacksonville cowered, right? Jacksonville became the coward of the county. That should be the name of this offensive line. The Kenny Rogers institution, or whatever you want to say it is, because they got blown up in the ditch. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they won the day, but you know what? They were competitive. They were getting it after. Mitch Morris really got handled the other day by Devon Hamilton. Mitch Morris came back today and had some good reps, both in one-on-one and in short yardage situation. I must point out that there were one-on-one drills. And again, you got to kind of pick which way you're going to go because you've got skill guys working and then you've got it going on in the pit. Devon Hamilton, what a beast. I mean, what a beast. And, I'll say this too. I hadn't really seen him yet. Roy Robertson Harris became noticeable to me earlier this morning, really for the first time this year. I think he's the most overrated Jaguar, right? We don't say that much because everything about this team and the personnel about this team is reaching their potential, right? Can Trevor get here? Can Tank get there? Can whoever, Devin Lloyd get there? There's not much of, well, yeah, he's good, but he gets too much recognition. I feel a little bit about that when it comes to Roy Robertson Harris, although I think some will say, well, he does things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. I'll just tell you, my two eyes, it took 8 Jaguars practices for me to notice him, but I did a little bit earlier today. So that is certainly a credit to him. And Doug Peterson as well really went on to talk about that defensive line. And he mentioned 8 guys that are going to be really involved in that defensive line. 3 on the edge, and it was either 4 or 5 in the middle. The third on the edge, obviously, being Trevis Gibson. But anyway, back to the offensive line. We found out that Anton Harrison was not able to give it a go. He's in the concussion protocol. He's going to be out a few days. That's very disappointing. All right. Harrison is, this is a guy who dealt with it a year ago. Remember? Even before, it was really bizarre. If you go back to 2023, he came up lame with a shoulder, and the Jaguars hadn't even experienced contact drills, yet something happened. And, I'm not an expert on going from the left side to the right side. He played left at Tennessee, went to right here in the National Football League. I don't know if it was because it was a different position or he just hurt himself. But, offensive linemen are tough, right? We know Sheriff was hurt all year. Cleveland was hurt, right? Cam was hurt. Cam went down again today. He went down again today. And, every once in a while, I try to be a smart guy, and I'll say something like, well, I haven't bet in 10 and a half years, but I'll take any bet from anyone out there listening that Cam Robinson will not play 17 regular season games this year because he just will not do it. Okay? It's not personal. It's just the way that I see it. Well, today he leaves because of a shoulder, and that's a shame. Because he's looked good in camp, particularly his battles with Trayvon Walker have been probably the best that we have seen yet. As I said at the top, I do think the last couple of days, seeing the Devon Hamilton, Mitch Morse battle has also been very intriguing. So here we go. Anton Harrison, concussion protocol, out. Cam Robinson, your starting left tackle with a shoulder, ends up coming out. What does that mean? Tell you what it means. Walker Little looked pretty good today, including in his battles against Trayvon Walker. Yesterday, Little got involved. That was Wednesday. Got involved in a little extra activities, and I hadn't seen that in the first couple of years with Walker Little. You know, kind of like a studious, mild-mannered, respectful Stanford Cardinal that you just, you don't think mean streak in Walker Little. And this is what I'm trying to explain, is that there feels like there's a tad bit of attitude. They're not walking around this year with the T-shirts that said 31st because, you know what? They ended up grading around the same, okay? And, a year ago, they tried to make mockery out of that, or they tried to use that as extra motivation, and it really backfired. Okay, you know this as a diehard Jaguar fan. The biggest problem this football team has, the biggest question mark this football team has as you head into the season is what is going to happen with this offensive line, period. I mean, I don't even think there's a close number two. You tell me. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure. What would be your number two? Your third, your fourth pass rush end? Maybe. Trevor? Maybe. Okay. Running the football? Maybe. That ties into the offensive line. Play calls? Maybe. To me, it's a landslide. It's the offensive line, and then it's so far away when you get to the number two issue while looking at this football team. So, I saw that today. And also Javon Foster, as I said, kind of about Roy Robertson Harris. This was really the first day that I saw anything with Javon Foster. And it was a good day. So I thought the offensive line really stepped up. And in goal line, we saw what this team needs, a goal line touchdown by Tank Bigsby, flying through the air. And we saw one with Travis Etienne. A little bit later on, we saw a longer touchdown by Tank Bigsby, who he has had a really good week. He has. And I told y'all that a year ago, and I'm so disappointed that I did because Tank failed miserably. And I know I'm overdoing it. Every time I mention Tank, people get on me here on the text line. No, I'm not making money every single time that I say Tank. I'm just telling you, he looks like he is going to really help this football team in 2024. And the players love him. When he scored, the entire offensive line ran and surrounded him. Trevor Lawrence ran and surrounded him. So today I thought was a good one overall when it comes to watching things offensively with the offensive line. Okay, with that said, right now, in my opinion, the defense is better. All right? What have I made a huge deal about all off season? And the Madden ratings are beginning to support this a little bit. They're a heck of a lot kinder. And I don't even know what Madden is. I know it's a video game. I've never played it. I just don't have time for video games. Crying out loud, I work 2 hours a day. When am I going to play video games? When I look at the entities across the NFL and the rankings that came in for Jaguar players, they were really poor. Feels like Madden in just about every position group is grading the Jaguars higher. So that is good news. But I mentioned, Devon Hamilton a little bit earlier. Devin Lloyd is all over the place. I mean, he literally is. He made a play today on Dearness Johnson, which was Hall of Fame-like, okay? Behind the line of scrimmage, just exploding from his new position as a Mike linebacker to pick up Jacksonville's third running back and just destroy him behind the line of scrimmage. Josh Hines Allen looking even better, bigger and better. And, I still, when I think of Allen, I think of getting to the quarterback. I think there are times where maybe the fact that he is such a well-rounded defensive football player, that may get lost in the equation. But for me, Josh Allen, what he has done in the last couple of days as far as run support, you talk about his ability to get around the edge and coming off now a 3-point stance, which is just, and when you go tomorrow and you get an opportunity to see this, if you are going to be at Everbank for Military Appreciation Day, I think you're really going to enjoy your first look at seeing Walker and seeing Hines Allen being able to, the burst they get with their hand in the ground. And it looks like they've been doing it for a very long period of time. Trayvon Walker obviously did it at Georgia. He played 3 different positions on the defensive line. And he was asked today about, not dropping back anymore. And, he loves it. I think I remember sitting with Hayes Carline in the very first rookie minicamp. And I was praying that he was going to be an end and rush. And then we saw him working with outside linebacker coach, Bill Shuey, and dropping back in coverage. And I just remember saying to myself, please tell me you're not going to take the number 1 pick in the draft and have him drop back in coverage. And I think over the last couple of years with Mike Caldwell, he has been used wrongly. There's really no other way to say it, okay? I mean, I just don't agree with the way that he's been used. I think you're going to see much more of him this year becoming that true 4-3 outside rush edge with a guy who still has plenty of ability to hold things down and do really good against the run. All right, I want to get caught up here on the break, but let me mention one more guy. One more player. And we were told he'd be limited today because of a tight hamstring. Ventrell Miller. He is a freaking football player. Okay? Don't height and weight me. Don't 40-time me. Don't bench press me. Don't give me 3 cone drills. Don't tell me about a short shuttle. I'm telling you, he is a football player. Ventrell Miller is going to help this team. Now, it's going to be hard for him to get on the field because I think the linebacking core this year in a 4-2-5 defense is going to be really good with Devin Lloyd and Foye Oluokun. But Ventrell Miller is a guy that I absolutely loved at Florida. Okay? He's just got to stay healthy. I'm watching him make play after play. Now, out of respect for the Jags and their way of not really talking about scheme and positioning and first team, second team, whatever that is, that has to be somewhat taken into consideration as well. Starters are a different animal in this league. There is a noticeable drop-off between starters and backups in a lot of different areas. But Ventrell Miller, I really think has a chance to be something with this football team. Again, he's not going to be a starter. He may win the job in a base, although, Chad Moom has been there for 3 years. He's got the opportunity more than Ventrell Miller. But when you start crunching and looking at prognostications and who's going to make the 53, if anyone has Ventrell Miller outside of that as a linebacker, no way. This guy has been really, really good. He's a football player. That's the best way to describe him. And again, watched him make some plays today as well. All right, we got a ton over the next couple of hours. Elijah Cooks, going to catch up with him. He's fighting for that 6 wide receiver spot, right? The offense has really picked up this week. Another pretty good day today. Tell you what, who really shined again at wide receiver. A couple of guys. Doug Peterson bragged about Christian Braswell today. One night after telling you that Christian Braswell was a lock to make this team, he had his worst training camp. He got beaten today often, including a couple of times by Christian Kirk. The other one, Brian Thomas Jr., just really getting better. But probably the highlight play of the day, getting by Jarian Jones on a nice ball by Trevor. I don't know, it traveled 40 yards or so, and Thomas took it in for a touchdown. But it was good to see that. So, good players making plays here as you wrap up the end of the work week. Of course, they'll be back at it tomorrow and then again Sunday and Monday. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Dr. Neil Shmunez has been doing this for more than 37 years. Dr. Catherine Shmunez as well. Long time in the business. It's a family organization. How cool is that? A legacy, right? Generational. And that's part of the reason why folks love to visit them. Hey, to me, it's, out at the beach, not exactly right next door for me. It's worth the trip. It's no problem at all because they're so genuine when it comes to not getting you in and getting you out. I mean, the eye care business can be a racket just like so many other things. No, they sit down, they talk, they discuss, find out exactly what is going on. A prescription? Sure, everyone needs that. But it's much more than just that, including what if you do have an issue as far as medical, surgical, right? Right eye surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago by Dr. Neil Shmunez. So they are much more than just an eye examination. They are your one stop for everything that is your eyes. Just check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram, get all the testimonials from people who have been with them for quite some time at Shmunez Vision as well on Instagram. All right, when we come back, let's bring in JJ LaSelva. Let's hear from you. Elijah Cook's coming up as well this hour. It's great to have you with us. A Friday edition of Into the Night.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Simone Biles becomes the first U.S. gymnast with 6 gold medals. She wins the individual all-around for the second time after pulling out of the final in Tokyo.
3 years ago, I never thought I'd step foot on a gymnastics floor again just because of everything that had happened. But at the end of the day, it is crazy that I am in the conversation of greatest of all athletes because I just still think I'm Simone Biles from Spring, Texas that loves to flip.
At 27, Biles is the oldest woman to win the all-around since 1952. Suni Lee takes the bronze. In the pool, Katie Ledecky gets the silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay, her 13th Olympic medal, a record for American women. And 57 straight Olympic wins for the U.S. women's basketball team to lock up a spot in the quarterfinals. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
For over 40 years, Play It Again Sports has served its customers with a winning, sustainable shopping model. Could say, we were recycling before recycling was cool. Save on quality used sporting goods for baseball, softball, lacrosse, hockey, golf, tennis, and more. or sell us your gently used gear. We buy all sports, all seasons, and offer cash on the spot. Stop by Play It Again Sports today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainsports.com.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
In sports, the grind outside the lines is what ultimately defines our success. Get the amateur's edge, powered by B3 Better, to learn the hidden path of top pros, amateurs, and coaches. Saturday mornings at 11 on 1010XL.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. Waterboy, JAX.com.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to bring your friends out and enjoy our spectacular golf course, which is carved out of some of the highest elevations in North Florida. Hidden Hills Golf Club, unlike any other. Check us out, hiddenhillsgc.com.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He'd never stood one single time to prove the county wrong.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars offensive line. This was their theme song from 2023. 4th and 1, we can't give it to ETN or Tank. Let's run the old 39 Periwinkle. We're going to run a counter to a tight end. It feels like they're manning up just a little bit. Phil Rauscher, very, very animated today. He always is animated. Hey, someone left, I have an idea who it is, and said the wrong side of the staff got fired. And your offensive line last year was terrible. They walked it back. I think they have looked like they're aware of that, both on Wednesday and Friday. So that's a good sign. And if there's one thing that I will always do and always say, it's about that offensive line. It's what I want more than any other part of a football team. I want a dominant, mean, physical offensive line. And we have not seen that around here in for freaking ever. Okay? Top draft picks, high-priced free agents, hasn't worked. Anton Harrison has worked. Right? Unfortunately, he was unable to give it a go today with the concussion protocol. And as well, Cam Robinson came out with the shoulder late in practice. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Thermal Engineers right here in Jacksonville. They are hiring an HVAC contractor for more than 20 years, a commercial HVAC contractor. You know, real good buddy of mine, Eric Neal. Golf with him all the time. He's been with the same company in the business for 21 years. He just left and went to Thermal Engineers. Why? Positive change. Family-oriented commercial contractor that is about doing things the right way. Also, when he went there, it was because top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. So for qualified technicians and installers, if you're looking for the positive change and getting everything that you could ask for financially and so much more, Thermal Engineers, Inc. 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer. Thermal Engineers, Inc. 230-1172. JJ LaSalva is here. How are you?
I'm good. I missed you last night.
Yes. Did you watch, you were telling me off air, you watched the new kick rule last night.
I did. I didn't watch the Hall of Fame game because I'm not a psychopath. But I saw the kickoff like everywhere on Twitter today and last night. I don't love it. It looks really goofy. I think we're going to have a ton of touchdowns or like long returns. Like the way it's set up, if you haven't seen it, basically the offense and the defense, or whatever you call them, the receiving and the kicking team, they line up 5 yards away from each other at like the receiving team's 40-ish yard line.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nobody behind them. So like if they break that one level of contain, it's a wrap. Like the guy's gone. So we're going to see a ton of scoring in special teams this year, like never before, I imagine. Last night is a small sample size, so we didn't get one yet. But I guarantee in the preseason we're going to get a lot. It looks gimmicky. It doesn't look like the NFL. I hate it. Maybe I'll change my mind, you know, the more we see of it. But no, I'm not a fan of it right now. It's very, like you always say, it's gimmicky, and the NFL doesn't need gimmicks.
No, the NFL does not. It's the one team. It's the one sport right now that flourishes, and they don't need to add any of this extra stuff. I miss the old days of just kick the ball off and return the kick. And I understand that the NFL, the most important thing to them is CTE and preventing concussions. So let's add more games.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's play Super Bowls over in Brazil, and let's play, screw you people here in the States.
But we changed the kickoff. I think they're
such hypocrites.
Yeah,
I love them.
Well, I think they used the safety, excuse, knowing that that's not actually what they care about. I think they're changing the kickoff rule because the kickoff was boring. They wanted more excitement. They wanted more scoring. I don't think it has anything to do with safety. I thought they could just be like, oh, well, why don't we just say that? Yeah. I mean, who's to argue that it's not? How can they say that we're not doing that? And it's classic NFL. Yeah, talking out of two sides of your mouth, saying you want safety and then adding another game. I think Hayes brought this up earlier, and I think he's right. We're going to get a lot of teams just kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone and just take it at the 30-yard line
this year,
instead of risking, because it's super risky now. Like I said, they break one level contain. It's a touchdown almost. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of 30-yard drive starting at the 30-yard line.
Well, you know what? That's an interesting point. And again, I want to respect the Jaguars when they don't want you talking about schemes. And I don't. But because of what you just said and what Hayes was getting into after, you can't trust the kicker to make a kick. I mean, this kicker, he's got a massive boot. I mean, it just sounds different coming off his foot. But I want to tell you, he is the youngest looking football player I have ever seen in my life. And I swear to God, the kid weighs 150 pounds. You can't look at him as a guy that's going to make a tackle. So are they going to, if they haven't already talked about it yet, at what point are they going to keep one, if not two guys back, almost at like a safety position, a free safety, in case there is a breakthrough? Because, I think we're going to see, once you get through that wall, and I know we're not supposed to say the wall anymore as far as NFL teams, or the wedge, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Yeah, we could see a lot of kick returns this year.
And I think there's going to be guys, maybe in the future, who, let's say Andre Cisco, did I get his first name right, is like a great kicker in high school or something. And he's going to be able to kick it from the 40, because I think that's where it is, from the 40, for the kickoff, and still be himself as a safety instead of having to have a kicker back there. Because if you can have a guy who can kick it that length, who's also a great athlete and can run down a guy, why not do that? The kicker, like you said, has absolutely no shot whatsoever of catching this guy.
You go back years and years and years ago, there was no deep snapper. It was always an offensive lineman. Then they really created this position, the expertise of being a long snapper, a deep snapper. I mean, all 32 teams have one. I do wonder what will change here now as far as the kickoff team, if kicking is still so incredibly important, but when it comes to special teams play, and I asked Elijah Cooks about that, we'll hear from him coming up momentarily. I just wonder if there's going to be any type of, now we want our kicker to be exclusively a field goal kicker, and we're going to have someone else who's got athleticism to kick off, because you don't want to put the ball anywhere near the end zone. If you can get it inside the 15, 12-yard line, that's where you want the ball to go. So, what you're saying now to these kickers is, you're 100 yards out and you want to hit a nice little soft gap wedge.
Yes.
But you're 100 yards out and you've got an 8-iron as a kicker, and now you've got to be told to feather that thing or do whatever it is to come within the the 15 or the 12-yard line, and
they're asking
I have no idea how hard that's going to be.
Yeah, they're asking him to be a punter, like pin the ball a certain place, but obviously off the tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I don't like that the game. It's going to affect the game like in a massive way. When they changed the point after touchdown, I know you hate that.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the game because there's a lot more misses, but not that much. This is like, did they realize what a big deal it is? I guess they did, and they don't care. Whatever.
It's because I'm a people's person, and here's the deal. When you score a touchdown, you used to be able to salute with your buddies and then make a run for the restroom and grab 2 more beers, knowing that the PAT was in. The 6 was 7. Now you can no longer do that. Okay? Now you can no longer do that because the PAT is in doubt, where after the PAT, the old way the rules are, you can certainly run and go to the bathroom and get your beers then, because every single kickoff has been a touchback.
Exactly.
Hey,
they just don't care about us beer drinkers out there.
Patrick Murdaugh went down today. It was the most gruesome injury I think I've ever seen live. And I'm thinking of my 8 years as the Jaguars sideline reporter, and just every game I've ever covered, I've never seen anything even close to this. It was so graphic, and the folks at the Miller Electric Center were stunned. And he's a tough young man, a very likable guy. I haven't spoken with him yet, but it was during a live goal line drill, live tackling, and it happened. It was, I don't even want to get into any much more than that, just to tell you that it was an ankle that was not pointing in the direction it should. And it was awful to see this, but they put the air cast on and they carted him away, and everyone there came by and patted him on the back, and it was done the right way, and folks were taking knees, and it was an emotional moment. But boy, this game and your livelihood, and of course he is representing, he's the team's international player pathway representative, who you look at some of these projections, some of these 53-man rosters, he's on a few, okay? And I got to believe he's absolutely headed for the injured reserve. I don't know that. That would be my guess. There's no way that he's going to be able to play football again in 2024. So that was very difficult to see today as well. I'll go through the injury report coming up in a little bit. Also getting a ton here on the text line. I want to give you an opportunity to get on in as well. 641-1010. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And I want to play Elijah Cooks. Caught up with him after Jaguars practice number 8 today during training camp. All of that is coming up as we go into the night.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of new vehicles. Trax starting at $299 a month. Traverse for $399 a month. Silverados as low as $499 a month. And they all come with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected for the next 20 years. Plus, every purchase will help fund a teacher's project in our schools. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open-air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 2nd, 1982, MLB legend Oakland outfielder Rickey Henderson steals his 100th base of the season in a 6-5 win over Seattle.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this weekend at 121 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is Red Shirt Friday with post-game fireworks. Tomorrow, it's back-to-school night as the first 2,000 fans gets a water bottle plus more fireworks courtesy of Wolfson Children's Hospital. Then, it's a Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs, but they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backward. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Are you a meat lover searching for quality cuts? Southern Steer Butcher uses a vacuum tumbler to marinate and tenderize our chicken and world-famous steak tips.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
One of the most anticipated factors of this Jaguars team is the pass rushing tandem of Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. Here's Walker on the connection the two have.
Man, Josh, we basically talk about everything. We discuss film together. We discuss just how we're about to rush this certain player right here, and if we switch sides, how he tells me how he just rushed him, so I have a plan going into my rush plan with that person. So it's just we do a lot of studying together, so I feel like our terminology a lot of times on the field, it carries over.
The two combined for 27.5 sacks last season and only plan on becoming more disruptive with defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen's aggressive approach. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I can't find it here in the text line. I don't know what I did, or maybe they bounced back with another question. I should have written it down. But someone, I'll paraphrase here, it said, do you not think that Ezra Cleveland is physical? And in my opinion, in his limited time here, he was not. And I understand that he was beaten up. I was sitting with someone this week. I'm not going to mention their name. He has got the smallest calves I have ever seen for an offensive lineman. And, take from that what you want. Thought he had a pretty good practice today. I thought the other guard had a better practice, Brandon Sheriff. Tell you who looked really good on the other side was Mason Smith. Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, I think the defensive line's ahead of the offensive line. But I thought it was a good day for the OL. I did. Walker Little going up against Miles Cole. Walker Little in a rep against Trayvon Walker. The best battle, and they had two good battles today before Cam went out. That was Cam Robinson, Trayvon Walker. I thought the four that I saw earlier in the week, I almost feel like Cam was 4-0 or 3-1. Today, Trayvon really got him on a move. But the other rep, I thought Cam held his own. So I thought it was a good day for the offensive line. And it has to be. It has to get better. This football team, it's so important. It changes the complex of everything. It changes the entire game plan if you have an offensive line. If Trevor Lawrence can drop in the pocket, or he's already in the pocket, but you understand what I'm saying, and read his progressions and have the time, I'm talking an extra quarter of a second. It means so much. And he's very good in the pocket. His escapability, I think, at times is undervalued because he fumbles the football, right? But he's very good at that. And if they can give him just a little bit more protection, think about how much more dynamic they're going to be. And then especially if they have the ability to really run the football. I love that they went live goal line today. And they did live tackling. It was fun to see. It was. I mean, it was real football out there, tackling one another. You never see it anymore. You never do. And someone's going to say, well, that's why Patrick Murtaugh went down. These guys go down all the time. And they happen on one-on-one drills. I mean, Anton Harrison hurt himself last year, as I said at the top of the show, the shoulder. I don't even think it was contact. Real quick, because what I'm going to do here in our second hour, I'm going to get a ton from you at 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. But I want to go through this. Number one, I'm going to tell you who I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow. Okay? And you're going to be out there. It's Military Appreciation Day at Everbank, so you're going to get an opportunity to see most of the 90 guys. Some are nicked up, as you know. Guys that I think really need big practices. I mean, tomorrow, or a big practice, excuse me. Tomorrow, we're 1 week away from game one, right? Kansas City coming into town. Number two, I want to take you through the guys that I think have really stood out in week two. And let me also do this, which may be a shocker. But I took you in week one through guys that I thought performed really well. And I only mentioned two guys that I thought did not perform well. Those two guys were Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. Those two players have been outstanding this week. I may not even have a negative player. I don't even know if that's not true. There's a couple guys that I certainly am going to spend a couple of minutes on. Another thing I want to do is I haven't done the 53. I just haven't. And man, it seems like when you do this 53, guys go down and you can find a way to IR them and do whatever, so everything's going to kind of work out. But there really are a couple of position groups now that are totally under the microscope. And I look at a guy like Tyler Lacey that I want to talk about. I don't think he's in anyone's 53. I didn't even mention him in the first hour. He was a beast today at times. And I'm talking about run defense. And he's so far down that list. It's a numbers game for him. But I kind of want to go through that because I think it becomes very intriguing now for Jaguar fans, to see who ends up being bottom of the roster guys when it's all said and done with the 53. And, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll touch upon this next hour, when they set their roster, I think they're going to keep their roster. There's only two positions on this football field where I believe they could get better. Number one is a pass rush end, okay? I do think so. And, that's just my early feeling on that as far as a pass rush end. I thought Abdul would be involved, and obviously he is not. We'll see about Rasheem Green. I watched him a little bit today. Looked okay. Okay, I just don't know enough yet. But I think a fourth DE, and those are hard to get. The other would be a safety, right? It just doesn't appear to be a lot of depth. If you didn't hear, Dewey's going to be out for quite some time. Let's go through the injury report Actually, let's get to the top of the hour. We'll do all that on the second part of the program. We got a ton to do. The best way for you to join us, 641-1010. That is the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Joe Coward.
My reputation as a salesman precedes me.
Matt Hayes.
He's next on my list.
And Leon Searcy.
If we're going to make the promised land, we have to work together.
There. XL Prime Time.
Then we're in big trouble.
Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa, you'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010XL.com/Vegas.
Vegas. And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt, and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control, a local family-owned business that's been chosen as the exclusive pest control provider for the brand new state-of-the-art Miller Electric Performance Center. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their effectiveness in keeping spiders, roaches, bugs, and termites out. When I trust them for my family and the Jags trust them for their business, then you can too. For the best service in town, call my friends at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
7 o'clock in Duval. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Military Appreciation Day, Everbank Field. Should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing you out there. Hopefully it's a really good practice and no one gets dinged. Going to go through that right now. Also going on tomorrow night, God's country, Florida State, first scrimmage. You realize Florida State plays 3 weeks from tomorrow? I mean, are we ready? 3 weeks from tomorrow, Dublin City, Ireland, Georgia Tech, Florida State. And then the week after, wow, the U and the Gators. They'll play that one at 3:30. Of course, earlier that day, I still can't believe the game's at noon. Clemson and Georgia, they will play in Atlanta. So, looking forward to that.
Isn't there like a crazy badass night game?
I think it's Notre Dame A&M.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason both those games got kind of pushed back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a disgrace. Georgia being at noon.
I'm sure Clemson fans love it because they probably feel like, why does Georgia? Yeah, I read somewhere someone's like, why does Georgia always get these, neutral games in Atlanta? I'm like, bro, they come here every year. for a game that they tell us is neutral.
Every year.
You know who tells us that it's neutral? Florida people. Right? I mean, you and I are like the only two non-Gator individuals at this radio station. Every Gator,
Leon, but
our colleagues, I know, but I'm having a little bit of fun with it, okay? It's fair. It's 50-50. They both sign off. I said, okay. And you know what? Start playing that back. And believe me, I want the economy. I want it to be here. But start playing that every year in Atlanta and see what those same people say. That's
One team flies here and the other one rides a bus. It is Notre Dame at Texas A&M, so it's not a neutral site game. At Kyle Field, 7:30. And then, of course, Sunday night, USC at LSU. Or actually, I believe that's in Vegas.
I think it is in Las Vegas. And then Monday night is Florida State, BC. That's the Labor Day game coming up on Monday. Florida State's going to be here Wednesday and Thursday. I still haven't heard back from them. I don't know if they've taken away my credential since I asked why Jared Verse wasn't practicing. I mean, my God, how dare you, Blue? He's a first-round draft pick, and he's not practicing. Why would you ask such a question? We're going to rescind your credentials. We don't care if you're a grad. We don't care if you used to work for the team or for the radio network or whatever it was. No. Joe Coward, a Florida grad, the guy's responded to him like 4 times. Screw Ballou, man. I mean, he asked why Jared Verse is in practice. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not. But I'll be out there. I don't know if the fans can go out there. I'm trying to find that out for you. If they tell me I can't go, I'll go hang from a tree. And if not, I'll just go to the Jaguars practice. I'm really kind of hoping Florida State's going to practice later in the day. Because, of course, the Jags practice early. But we'll see. All right, let's give you some good and bad. Let's begin with the good. Doug Peterson said Eric Armstead is getting closer. Okay? That's real good. The bad is Dewey. All right? That knee injury, and I was right there when it happened, it is more significant than it looked. I thought he was honestly going to be able to walk that off. Say whatever you want about Andrew Wingard. That is a tough man. And he's going to be out, it feels like, for the rest of the preseason and could possibly miss a game or so. We shall see. Cooper Hodges, the back. That continues to be a problem for Cooper Hodges. Anton Harrison, the concussion protocol. I would assume he's out this weekend and probably Monday. They're off on Tuesday. Adam Gotsis with the stinger, held out of team drills today. Better than yesterday where he didn't work at all, or Wednesday where he didn't work at all. Keelan Robinson, the rookie, limited to individual drills today. And Jordan Jefferson, the ankle, individual drills today. Also going down for the Jaguars during this Friday practice outside of the gruesome situation with Patrick Murtaugh and his ankle injury, Cam Robinson came out late with a shoulder. So Jacksonville's starting tackles right now are shelved, I would assume, for tomorrow's practice. Definitely for Harrison. I would absolutely expect that for Cam. I don't know that, but that would be my feeling. Josh Peterson, an ankle. He went out late today. And Deshaun Dixon got really caught up in a one-on-one pass rush drill and had an ankle injury and was helped off the field a little bit, then was treated for it, and he ended up returning. So that's a positive there. But, yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, these injuries are starting to pile up here in Duval. And again, that's common all around the NFL. Next to having a quarterback, okay, probably the biggest concern you can have for any football team is staying healthy. And you have to. And we've seen some quarterbacks. I mean, look what happened to Justin Herbert yesterday in Los Angeles. So he's going to be out for the remainder of the preseason. Let's get to Elijah Cooks. This is, I felt like last year I talked about Elijah Cooks so much. I haven't as much this year because it's, you bring in Gabe, you bring in Devin Duvernay, and you draft Brian Thomas Jr. You know that Christian Kirk is your number one. So those are your top four. I think absolutely Parker Washington is your number five. And maybe even your number four ahead of Devin Duvernay. Okay, I think Parker Washington has had an outstanding camp. Now, most would say Duvernay's 4, Washington's 5. And that's fine. Okay? But we know that 5 of the 6 are set. Then you talk about Tim Jones and his ability to play special teams. You talk about these 3 undrafted rookies. Joshua Cephas, probably the best of the bunch with Joseph Skates and Brevin Easton. Say what you want about Austin Trammell. He's a good football player. All this kid does is make plays. I don't think he'll make the team, but he is a good football player. He's undersized. And I just can't see it happening. Seth Williams, to me, stuck out much more during OTAs than he has so far during training camp. But what about Elijah Cooks, a big-bodied wide receiver? Of course, he was an undrafted free agent out of San Jose State last year here in Jacksonville. This is year number 2. I caught up with him after practice today.
Another hot one out here this afternoon as we wrap up a Friday with Elijah Cooks. Solid week of practice. Your thoughts overall?
I mean, we've had a good week of practice. Offense is getting better and better every single day, and that's just all we hope for during training camp. We're trying to be the best offense in the league, and just getting 1% better every day is the goal.
What happened? I mean, it really turned on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday as well. I thought you had the catch of the day on Wednesday, but the progression of this offense, it took a little while. But what happened in your opinion?
I just think we was just working on clicking as a group, honestly, and like we said, 1% better every day. The first few days were not up to our standard, and we said that in the meeting rooms. We knew that we were not playing our best ball, and that we could play way better, and I feel like just the last week or so, we've kind of caught in our groove, and we've gotten better and better every day.
Taking advantage of your opportunities, you really got some early on with Gabe Davis being out. What's that like to be in that situation?
I mean, it's a great feeling to be in that position, but like I said, I just want to help the team win this year. Whatever way I can do that, if Gabe goes down to somebody and I need to step in, that's the way I want to work this year in every aspect on the field, honestly.
How different is it year 1 to year 2?
Completely different. Last year, I didn't have the confidence level. I was still working on knowing the plays and everything. This year, I'm going out there with all the confidence in the world, thinking I'm one of the best receivers on the field.
Here you are, a young wide receiver, and they change defenses up on you. And, from my perspective, it looks quite different. What's it like going up against Ryan Nielsen and what he's shown so far?
I mean, Coach Ryan's defense has been great for us, honestly, because I feel like last year that was a big problem in our offense. We didn't really go against the press that much in practice. And so going against it every single day, man-to-man coverage, just knowing, like, it's me versus the corner every time, it gives me and the defense great work, all of us great work. That's just what we need to work on all year, and that's going to help us win, honestly.
Seeing some of these young corners, Christian Braswell, for one, a guy who came in with you a year ago, it just feels like the coverage has been better in this secondary, particularly with some of those younger players.
Yeah. Our young guys have really stepped up, and I mean, our leaders have really shown, like getting Darby here. Darby legit coached me up midway through a route, saying that's a good route, do this, do that, and that's just wanting us to be the best we can possibly be on the field, and I do the same thing with the defense. It's so great.
Special teams, how important is that to you?
It's so important, you feel me? Like I said, I want to be a guy that could fill in anywhere on the field, offense or special teams wise, so whatever I need to do to get on that field, I'm going to do it.
Today was a tough day. A couple of guys went down. I know that happens in camp, but especially, all you guys had a knee at one point.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough seeing a player go down like that, especially because, I mean, we hate to see guys go down. Like, everybody I know prays for healthy teammates throughout the whole year. But, I mean, we play a very physical game. It's going to happen. We just have to accept it, move on, and just fill that role because we know Pat's going to be down for a couple weeks, and we don't know actually for real. So we're just hoping that stuff gets better.
Last one for you. You're a week away from facing someone else. You'll get Kansas City here next Saturday. Where are you as far as, okay, I'm tired of these same old faces. Let's take on someone else.
I mean, I can't wait. For me, there's nothing better than game day. And for me, the preseason I had last year, I'm hoping to just improve on it this year, honestly. So I'm just really ready to go out against another defense because, like you said, we play the same guys every day. They starting to know our moves, know our routes. So going against a new face, new team will be great.
Thanks for your time, Elijah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Is he going to be the sixth wide receiver? If not, I think they would love to bring him back and put him on the practice squad unless he gets another opportunity somewhere else in the National Football League. I'm just looking back a year ago. He was active for 9 games, okay? 4 targets, 3 receptions, 38 yards. The guy who gets lost in this is Tim Jones. You know what Tim Jones did last year? Played in all 17 games. He's a 4-core special teams guy. I don't think you can overlook that when you are discussing the 6 wide receivers. You know who your 3 starters are. Kirk, Thomas, and Gabe. 4 and 5 is Duvernay in Washington. And Duvernay is your punt and kick returner. Could they keep 7? It doesn't appear that they could. Right? You're going to have to sacrifice an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman or a cornerback or a linebacker. I mean, you're going to have to cut. I actually, as crazy as it may sound, like 3 quarterbacks here. But I got to look at it saying, listen, we've put everything into Trevor, and we just brought in Mac Jones, who's got a ton of starts. If Beathard can hang in the practice squad, fine. But no, we need more roster spots for guys that can play on Sunday. Beathard's a 3rd quarterback who's going to be on the practice squad. But what happens after that? I don't know, outside of the fact that I'd be willing to guess right now that Tim Jones is still your 6th wide receiver, because Tim Jones is a guy that they trust special teams-wise. And when you're talking about Elijah Cooks, and you're talking about Joshua Cephas and Joe Skates and Brevin Easton and Seth Williams, not nearly. As a matter of fact, 4 of those 5 guys, no experience when it comes to special teams. So I think that's going to be a big part in all of this when it's said and done. And I don't think any of them are going to really figure into catching footballs, right? That's not going to be the case. It's not. And they're going to go to their top 3 targets. And they're going to go to, obviously, Evan Ingram, who caught more than 100 balls last year. And they go to Travis Etienne, who really doubled his reception intake from his 2nd to his 3rd season. Of course, he was injured as a rookie. But that's what I think this comes down to. Is Elijah Cooks a special teams guy? If so, he could end up being active on Sunday. And he could still win that job over Tim Jones. I think he gets put on the back burner. And some people forget just how important he is special teams wise. All right, when we come back, let's take a look at a few of these projections that I have. All right, I spent some time on that this afternoon. I also want to take you through, and it's going to be much different from last week because the disappointments I had in week 1, again, were Trevor and Brian Thomas Jr. They are absolutely a part of my positives this week. This has been a really solid week of practice. The biggest disappointment this week for the Jaguars has been health. I mean, on the field, it's been a really solid week of work. So we'll come back. We'll do that as well. Again, getting a ton from you. 641-1010. If you would like to join us, that is the text line, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update, brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Simone Biles becomes the first U.S. gymnast with 6 gold medals. She wins the individual all-around for the 2nd time after pulling out of the final in Tokyo.
3 years ago, I never thought I'd step foot on a gymnastics floor again just because of everything that had happened. But at the end of the day, it is crazy that I am in the conversation of greatest of all athletes because I just still think I'm Simone Biles from Spring, Texas that loves to flip.
At 27, Biles is the oldest woman to win the all-around since 1952. Suni Lee takes the bronze. In the pool, Katie Ledecky gets the silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay, her 13th Olympic medal, a record for American women. and 57 straight Olympic wins for the U.S. women's basketball team to lock up a spot in the quarterfinals. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Did it rain a lot this morning?
No, it was nice and sunny.
Well, the backyard's kind of swampy.
Huh, yeah. Especially where the septic tank is.
Oh, no. When was the last time we had our septic tank pumped?
Don't neglect your septic. Just call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing and septic experts. DuckDuckRooter.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford.
In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think.
Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 2nd, 1982, MLB legend Oakland outfielder Ricky Henderson steals his 100th base of the season in a 6-5 win over Seattle.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with a big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco-Lu's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco-Lu in Jacksonville Beach.
Are you worried about your roof? Protect it with a lifetime shingle transferable warranty with Universal Roof and Contract. Save up to $1,250 on your roof replacement, plus flexible financing up to 15 years. This expires August 31st and restrictions apply. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to come out and experience one of the most beautiful and unique golf courses in North Florida. Affordable golf, friendly service, and great times in the Hills Grill after play. Book your tee time, hiddenhillsgc.com.
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Blue Crab House open till 9 tonight. Open till 9 every night except for Monday. All right, remember Sunday beginning at noon. $2.50 Bloody Marys and mimosas. $2.50 Bloody Marys. Unbelievable. Blue Crab House, right off of San Jose. There on Jointer Creek Road. All right, on this day, 2 years ago, the great Vin Scully passed. 94 years of age. Also on this day, back in 1979, I remember sitting in Keene, New Hampshire, where my mom was born, with my granddad, my dad, and several others had a pool in a pond. They let me go in the pool. But that's the day that we heard that Thurman Munson died at the age of 32. Obviously, the Yankees had an off day. The Red Sox were playing, though, because we were watching the Red Sox on TV 38. I was back in the days where you only had a couple of television channels to choose from. And word had trickled over to Boston that Thurman Munson was gone at 32. Wow. 1979. All right.
What was up with y'all's planes back then, man? All kinds of superstars were going down. That never crosses my mind nowadays that a team would get in a plane accident or something. You guys lost rock stars and baseball players and it's crazy.
I know.
It wasn't even that long ago.
The word is that there wasn't enough gas in the plane that made Leonard Skinner go down. They didn't have enough gas in it.
That's an oversight.
I don't know if it's true or not, but, it's out there. I've seen that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All sorts of athletes. No question.
Of course, Clemente.
Roberto Clemente. Yeah. Going back to Puerto Rico. I think he was going back to Puerto Rico to do some charitable service.
Yeah, so fuel exhaustion and loss of power in both engines for the Skinner flight, October 20th, 1977.
The night the music died, American Pie, right? Buddy Holly and company.
Yeah, crew inattention. The crew was not paying attention to the fuel supply.
No.
You would think that's probably like top 3 things on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you run out of gas in your truck, car, you just gonna, you're just gonna pull over to the side of the road and you're screwed.
It does suck.
You run out of gas in a plane?
Have you ever run out of gas on the side of the road?
No.
Me neither. Knock on wood. The only time I have run out of gas, I was in a parking lot already. And I went to start my car up thinking I had just enough to get to a gas station. It didn't. Luckily, I was in college at the time, and one of my buddies was there. But, like, woof.
You seen the size of my truck?
Yeah.
I got to fill it up every day, bro.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean,
at $1,000.
I drove from Bartram Springs downtown to cover the Jaguars today and over here to Hogan Road. I got to fill that bad boy up. It's absolutely incredible. All right, let me do this real quick because the injury today to Dewey that was announced, I think is really important for the Jaguars and their safety position because to me, outside of backup edge guys, and Travis Gibson is a guy that Doug Peterson mentioned. Actually, I don't know if he did. He mentioned him earlier today in his press conference, and he's looked pretty good. He has. I think he's going to have an opportunity there. But as I've said all along, I'm nervous about the number 4 defensive end. Abdul is just not working there, right? It doesn't appear that Abdul is going to be on this football team. There's just not room for him. Rasheem Green now gets the next opportunity. Possibly Miles Cole. I think there's a guy right there that they'd love to bury for a year and work on him, work on his body and get him ready. But I'd be shocked if he's part of things this year. When you look at the safety position here in Jacksonville, they have 2 guys they really like, right? Andre Sisco, final year of his deal, and Antonio Johnson. But we have to remember with Johnson, this guy was injured a year ago. He only played 171 snaps in 2023. And most of those were at nickel. So they're now asking him to be a strong safety. I still think you have to consider Darnell Savage. Savage is the nickel. Savage in his career in Green Bay played almost always safety. The positive with that would be if you can't keep Jerry Jones off the football field as a nickel, then all of a sudden Savage could become a guy that is fighting with Antonio Johnson to be that second safety next to Andre Sisco. Hey, that's a pleasant problem. Okay? We'll see what ends up happening. What concerns me is who are your backup safeties? Andrew Wingard, to me, is a special teams guy. He's a good safety if you know you're facing a team that's going to run the ball. Daniel Thomas, he's a gunner. He's another 4-core special teams guy. He's not great in coverage. Eric Hallett II, maybe. Josh Proctor's an interesting guy. I didn't think an undrafted free agent had a chance of making this team outside of possibly Joshua Cephas. And I still think Cephas is probably the 7th or 8th wide receiver, again, behind Tim Jones and Elijah Cooks. We just had that conversation. Josh Proctor's a guy that I think there's a possibility there. So this is an important practice for them coming up, including tomorrow and in the rest of the week as well. All right, let's continue with that as we go to the interior defensive line. You're probably going to keep 6, right? To me, the starters are Devon Hamilton. He's been the best of them all. It's not even close. Now, Eric Armstead's not practicing. Roy Robertson-Harris has been slowed. I really noticed him today for the first time in 8 practices. There's your top 3. Then you got the 2 rookies. Mason Smith, who had a nice work today against Brandon Sheriff. Okay, Jordan Jefferson, unfortunately slowed now with an ankle. But these kids are both going to make it out of LSU. And not only make it, but certainly with Mason Smith, you hope he ends up playing a pretty big role. That 6th spot, Tyler Lacey had a really good practice today. 4th round selection a year ago. The projections, whatever's out there that's Jaguars related, I read. And projections have been out for a while. I don't think I've seen Tyler Lacey on anyone's 53. It's a numbers game. Jeremiah Ledbetter, right? His best season of his 6 or 7 year career was last year. And by the way, he had that pick six. He's done some other things. Was it a fumble or was it I think it was a fumble for Jeremiah Ledbetter. But there's a guy with experience. Okay? Adam Gotsis. Been around here for a little bit. How does he fit into the new scheme? Gotsis was kind of a guy that would come off the edge at times in a 3-4 defensive end package. And I just don't know. I haven't really seen much out of Adam Gotsis. So that becomes a question mark as well. And then you get to the cornerback position. And I just kind of took it through the Jerrion Jones, Darnell Savage. There are people who believe Savage is a safety. They're playing him at nickel. Ryan Nielsen has told us since he arrived here that he wants to be able to have guys that are versatile, that guys can do all sorts of different things. All right? Jerrion Jones, he got beat today by Brian Thomas Jr., and it was a nice throw by Trev. It was a great route. Boy, the best route today, though, was Christian Kirk. Woo, on Christian Braswell. Oh, holy Toledo. And Braswell's had a fantastic camp. He did not have a good day today. So, he's human. Because Braswell, to me, if I was to list, what corners have really stood out. Campbell went down at one point with the ankle, as we know, Jones as well. Ronald Darby's been so good, but there's no doubt that Christian Braswell has really been one of the best members of this secondary, making plays day and again, day after day after day. Today was a rough day for him. He did bounce back and make some nice plays, which is a positive. But Braswell's going to be on this team. So your corners, if you have the nickel, right, you want 6 of them. Well, you've got Tyson, Darby, and Savage, Jerrion Jones, Christian Braswell. For me, the number 6 guy is Buster. It's Buster Brown. But Deontay Prince today made a phenomenal play, a one-handed interception. I actually thought he committed pass interference, I actually thought he was holding on the call. But there are times that I've seen him be physical. I think that's really part of his game. I will say this, though. Before they started hitting and they had pads on, he looked like he was going to be more physical than I actually have seen. Now, I respect the fact that there's only been 3 padded practices. I'm not going to make that determination on him based on such little opportunity, but he was really flying to the ball early in camp. I guess the best way to describe Prince is he's done some really nice things, but he's a rookie. And, this becomes difficult for Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson now. Can you bury these rookies? Can you bury Deontay Prince? Can you bury Miles Cole? And it was like, well, they're 5th-round picks. They're 7th-round picks. Okay, well, they're still draft picks. And I mentioned Tyler Lacey, who's a second-year guy, 4th-round pick. And I think the ego's involved here a little bit as well, right? That, you went out and you drafted these guys, and you want to find room for them. But I think Buster's your 6th guy. For me, the 7th guy is Deontay Prince. I tell you who I still really like, and that's Trey Flowers. He's long. Guy's got a lot of experience. He was with Ryan Nielsen last year in Atlanta. He came over here as kind of like it got like almost no attention at all as a late free agent. He's made some plays. I don't know if he still has the speed to hold up. But that's going to be interesting. I don't think Devon Campbell makes the team. I just don't. I think he's he's caught up in the numbers game there. And So anyway, that's a look at your secondary. As I said a couple of times now, the two negatives that I had in the first week of camp were Trevor and Brian Thomas Jr. They both have been really, really good this week in a bounce back. Guy who has not looked good is Gregory Jr. He's just gotten beaten. And, I think that we have seen that there is a gap between Buster Brown, Christian Braswell, and Gregory Jr. And I understand that Jr., for the most part, is being asked to do things differently. He's in the slot. He's a nickel guy where they do feel that, Braswell, he's arguably a third or fourth best cover guy. I certainly think that. Coverage-wise in camp so far, wow. I mean, outside of Tyson and Darby, who's covered better than Braswell? Jerry and Jones, early before the ankle. And as I said, Jones got toasted today by Brian Thomas Jr. So that is really going to be a lot of fun to watch. The other thing to consider here, two other things to consider, okay? Number one, you lost the tight end today in Patrick Murdoch. So you got the three, and Evan and in Luke and Brenton Strange, but who gets that fourth job? All right, Sean Bowman was mentioned earlier in the week. That is something that you have to consider. Josiah Duawara is how you pronounce his name. Or Degarawa, excuse me, from Green Bay. The guy's got a lot of experience. All right? Maybe he is the fourth tight end. That is a possibility. One other guy that I do want to mention, and he was the late signing. He was the kid out of Clemson, Tanner Muse. All right? He played special teams the last couple of years in Seattle. He was a safety at Clemson. Special teams is something that this organization values an awful lot. I don't think you're going to see Tanner Muse on anyone's 53, but I would not be shocked based upon how he practices now and plays in the 3 preseason games. If you find a way, if guys like Dewey are out, if anything else happens injury-wise, that possibly Tanner Muse becomes the guy. I do think 2 players that they've added, Tanner Muse and Rasheem Green on the edge. Those 2 guys have a chance to make this football team. And it was weird because I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I know it was Monday or Tuesday. Practice ended at the Miller Electric Center. We walked inside the Miller Electric Center where the interviews are now conducted, the inside field, the 2 outside fields. You walked in there and there were 5 guys working out. They had like red pennies on. They all had numbers in the 90s. And, trying to get facial recognition. I couldn't. I didn't know who any one of these 5 players were. But they ended up signing 3 of them. And I do. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it, but I'm just saying. I think Tanner Muse and Rasheem Green both have an opportunity to make this team. Tanner Muse makes it for special teams only. Okay? He becomes a Montel Owens type of player. If they can afford to do something like that. And again, I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I'm just saying take this into consideration because the guy has played safety in his career. He's played linebacker in his career. But again, I think he's here, obviously, to be a backup, but to really help out. So, he's a guy, if he makes it, that's my point, kind of like Tim Jones. It's like Tim Jones never gets talked about, but not only does Tim Jones make it, Tim Jones is a guy that plays on Sunday. He plays every game for you. So it's not talking about making the 53. He's not a scratch. Tim Jones, guy who plays every game. I kind of feel the same way about Tanner Muse. So I guess the best way for me to say it is if he makes the 53, I think he's playing on Sunday. That's probably what I should have said, and I could have shut up 2 minutes ago. Final thoughts are coming up on the other side. Also, at 8 o'clock tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Hacker Nation.
You down with J-A-G?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with J-A-G?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with J-A-G?
Yeah, you know me.
Who's down with J-A-G?
The Bold City. 1010XL, proud flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Florida is coming soon and now hiring for technicians, sales, and all positions. If you or someone you know are looking for a new opportunity, apply online at genesisnortheastjacksonville.com. Equal opportunity employer.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen & Sullivan.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatersparking.com and book your space today.
Hello, sports fans. Hicken here. Let's talk skin. Iron Beach's Dermatology are reminding you to wear your sunscreen. If you're an active parent hanging at the fields, in your boat to fish, or like to chill at the sandbar, wear sunscreen. But if you're the one that decided for years it's not cool, guess what? Cancer isn't cool either. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, gassing up the boat, or grabbing the chairs for your kids' games, make sure you bring the screen. Any concerns now? Give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
It's soccer around the world, and here at home on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour, Monday evenings on 10:10 a.m. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk, Mondays at 6 on 1010XL.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
What is the perfect NFL quarterback passer rating? The answer coming up.
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The absolute perfect passer rating in a single game is 158.3.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
For over 40 years, Play It Again Sports has served its customers with a winning, sustainable shopping model. Could say, we were recycling before recycling was cool. Save on quality used sporting goods for baseball, softball, lacrosse, hockey, golf, tennis, and more. Or sell us your gently used gear. We buy all sports, all seasons, and offer cash on the spot. Stop by Play It Again Sports today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainsports.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
David Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, your mom mentioned it's been a year since we did a complete house cleaning. The kitchen tile and living room floors are looking pretty dingy. It's time to call Zero Res.
That's right. Most folks know that Zero Res does an amazing job at cleaning their carpets and rugs, but they don't know that Zero Res can clean their tile and grout, LVP, and wood floors.
And right now, Zero Res is offering 25% off all hard floor cleaning. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CERO. Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Nick in here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Ballou is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Well, have an outstanding weekend, and hopefully you'll see you out there tomorrow. 10 a.m. Military Appreciation Day. Opportunity for you to get out to the stadium and watch the Jaguars practice. Should be a good day out there. There's so much good about this team right now, where the defense, really did its part early. The offense has taken off as of late. I thought today was a great practice with short yardage and red zone and live tackling. If I didn't know better, I would have thought that it was back in the days of Tom Coughlin here in the mid to late 90s. The only issue now is injuries. And your starting tackles are out. Anton Harrison with a concussion in the protocol. He's going to be out for a few days. Cam Robinson left today late with a shoulder. And, you hate it. But that is what has happened. Of course, the big injury today, Patrick Murtaugh, about his you tell you what, it's the worst live injury I've ever seen. And I've seen torn ACLs, and I've seen plenty of stuff like that. I remember the Florida State practice. What was that one day? Corey Fuller, Steve Gilmer, and Tiger McMillan all went down in August of 93 when Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews had a conversation, and Warwick Dunn went from defensive back to running back. But anyway, Murtaugh did go down. The other injury that came in today that was announced that we got, something from Doug Peterson on was Andrew Wingard, who was having a really good camp. And, he was one of the guys really battling for that second safety position there next to Andre Sisco. So if you're a fan of the league, you know that this is happening everywhere. This isn't only in Duval, but it's the scary part of it, and it's why teams don't hit. It's why teams don't tackle. I mean, someone would just look at this report today and say, oh, look at Jacksonville. They lost a guy. They did it because they were doing a live red zone drill with tackling. Well, that's not the case. Look at all these other injuries, or so many of these other injuries. I guess the Dewey one did happen during live tackling as well. But you've known that forever injuries happen all over the place, especially in non-contact situations. You can't put them in bubble wrap. You got to practice them. And you just want to be able to stay healthy. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see you out there tomorrow. Of course, a week from Saturday, believe it or not, Kansas City will be here for a preseason football game. That is just crazy. That's going to do it. Thank you to Elijah Cooks, Jaguars wide receiver. Thank you to J.J. LaSelva. Hacker is coming up next. And don't check the text line. You can get a hold of me always on Twitter or X. That's Ballou1010XL. I'll see you tomorrow down at the Jaguars practice beginning at 10 o'clock at the stadium. And I'll talk with you next at 6 on Monday.